Hey guys, my name is Julia and I'm the creator of that channel. Today we will discuss the story you sent me. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel, like the video and leave a comment down below. So let's start it.
I caught my wife red-handed with AP in my house. Tuesday was my wife's birthday, and I took off early and picked up flowers for her so I can surprise her. But boy, does she have a surprise for me. I walked in the front door. There's clothes scattered from the front door all the way to our bedroom. At first, I couldn't understand what I was looking at. Then I realized it was men's and women's clothes. Apparently, I got home right after they got through having a little fun, and they were in the shower cleaning up. Apparently, she likes it in her backside, even though she won't give it to me. I can hear them laughing and giggling about how great it was. I was so freaking numb at that point. I took a step back, went into the living room, and sit on the edge of the couch for a couple of minutes. My mind was just racing. Then I saw all of his stuff lying on the floor. I picked up all of his clothes, took them out to the driveway, then dumped charcoal starter fluid on them and set them afire. The only thing I did not burn was his keys and his phone. When I walked back into the house, my wife was standing there in a towel, just staring at me with a stupid look on her face. I told her happy birthday. She just started crying. He comes walking out in a freaking towel wrapped around him. I told him to get the heck out of my house before I punch him. Because at this point, I'm just about to lose my stuff. He starts looking around for his clothes, and I told him that they were in the driveway. He goes to the door and sees his clothes burning. He's screaming, "What did you do?" I hand him his keys and his phone and told him to get out of my house. Add to give me my towel. My wife starts yelling at me, telling me that I can't do that to him. I can't offend him like that. I look at her and tell her you didn't have a problem offending me. You'll let him do it in your backside, but not me. My wife looks at him and tells him that she will get him a pair of sweats. I told her if he touches any of my stuff, I will punch him. She said you can't do that. You can't send him out there like that. I said stop trying to protect him. What about protecting me? She just gets this blank look on her face, like she didn't understand. The guys start walking towards me, saying he wants a pair of pants at least. I told him no, get out. That's whenever he tried to grab my arm. So he got to take home a black eye along with no pants. What a freaking disaster. Just because I wanted to surprise my wife on her birthday. Update. A little bit more about us. I'm 36, she's 38, and we have a 16-year-old daughter. I threw my wife out on her birthday. She's living with her mom, who is also a cheater. I have not spoken to her since Tuesday. She's been blowing up mine and our daughter's phones. I had to explain to my daughter what her mother did. Not in details, but just that she cheated, so she is so heartbroken and angry. I retained a lawyer this morning. I finally texted my wife and told her I retained a lawyer, and I will meet her later on today so she can try to explain herself. This is probably a bad idea, but I need answers. Is there a standard list of questions that I should ask? Because right now I can't think clearly. Whenever I found them, they were in the shower. It was all steamed up so they didn't know I was standing at the doorway, and I could hear them laughing and giggling about the love contact they had just had, and how he loved her backside because it was so tight. I texted her and told her I did not want to meet up today. I just can't stand to look at her yet. She started blowing up my phone with phone calls and texts, swearing that she can change, saying that she's already gotten rid of that a-hole, whoever he was. I did tell her not to delete a damn thing from her phone. I want to see all of her texting whatever she did. Update. Sunday morning. We met at a local coffee shop this morning. I was recording the conversation with my phone on the table. She wanted to know why. I told her frankly I didn't trust her anymore. She started in saying that she wanted to save our marriage. I ask her why, because she's already given up on it. Because she wants to be the wife and the mother that our daughter needs. I told her it's a little late. She asked if I was ready to throw away 16 years of marriage. I threw it back in her face. I'm not the one that cheated. I asked her who the guy was. Apparently, he's a stay-at-home dad from one of the homeschooling programs. I told my wife that she has to contact his wife and tell her what she did if there's any hope for us in the future. I asked her how long it had been going on, and she said 2 months. She said she feels guilty and remorseful for what she did. I told her she felt guilty and remorseful for getting caught, not what she did, because she didn't have any intentions of stopping. She started crying, saying that she knew it was wrong and that she was going to stop. I told her to stop lying to me. I asked her to give me her phone, and she did. To my surprise, she had not deleted anything off of it. She showed me all the points where they started getting closer. She told me how many times they have met up and had closeness. I asked her why she could take it in her backside from him, but not from me. She said that she was the wife and mother, and she didn't want me to look down on her for her desires. I threw it back in her face. I said I wouldn't have asked if I would look down on you. She showed me the text where she told the guy that she could not have contact with him anymore. She wanted me to tell our daughter to please contact her, that she wanted to talk to her. I told her, "No, it's her decision. I will not force her to talk to you." I also expressed that she needs to get into counseling and fix herself because there's something seriously damaged inside of her. And then I contacted a lawyer and started separation papers. At that point, she just completely broke down and started sobbing. I told her she had 60 days before the papers were done for her to show me some sort of remorse for what she did to me and our daughter, and not just a shame and guilt for getting caught. I told her at this point she needs to just move in with her mother until we can figure out the future. I told her to go get an STD test. And I told her that even though we're separated, I want to know exactly where she is at all times. I want a tracking device on her phone, and I want her to check in with me, because if I found out she even whispers to him, I will take her for everything. At this point in my life, I'm questioning my entire marriage. I feel like she could have cheated the entire time. I informed her of that too. She promised that it was a one-time only affair. I told her I don't believe her. If you can do it once, you can do it 100 times. I informed her at this point, I am through with our marriage unless she can give me a reason not to leave and to stay in it. But the mountain you have to climb is a very large mountain. My daughter and I had to make an 8-hour emergency drive home yesterday. My cheating wife took a bunch of pills on Christmas Eve and was rushed to the emergency room. She is still hurting us, so we are all back under the same roof. So I guess she got what she wanted. I'm telling her later on today that we're done. I can't live with her. She is still being selfish, and she traumatized our daughter on Christmas Eve. Last night, I had a long talk with my wife. I told her that we are divorcing, and she started to fall apart. I informed her that she has done too much damage to our family, and her little stunt on Christmas Eve seriously traumatized our daughter. Her selfish behavior is unacceptable, and I can't deal with it anymore. She can go and live with AP if she wants to. I really don't care anymore. I realized yesterday I don't feel anything for her. I don't know if it's the trauma or what, but all I can think about is moving forward without her. I told her that she had to find a new place to live. She keeps telling me she wants us. She chooses us. I told her that she would still be with him if I wouldn't have caught her, and I'm okay with her going to him. She said he doesn't want her. No surprise, she reached out to him. So I'm her fallback plan. She said she doesn't know what she is going to do. I told her that she should have thought of that before her affair. I think we are through. I packed up all of her clothes today and put them on the back porch for her to come and get. I'm also going to AP's house tonight to talk to his wife. Update. I decided not to talk to affair partner's wife. Frankly, I just don't care anymore. It doesn't matter what anybody says. I am done. The only thing I can focus on now is moving forward for my daughter. My soon-to-be ex-wife is still out of the picture. I have chosen a no-contact route with her. My daughter has the option of talking to her if she wants to, but so far she has not wanted to. From what I understand, she spends most days barricaded in her room at my mother-in-law's. She has been pretty much abandoned by everyone that knows her. While I don't feel sorry for her, I do pity her. Update. Last night I had a change of heart. I went over and visited the other betrayed spouse. I had a packet of information that I had collected about the affair. I gave that to her and explained everything I could personally to her. She asked me if I was the one that offended her husband. I told her yes. She said that it was strange the day he came home in his gym clothes with a black eye. He told her that he had been in a road rage incident. We spent about 40 minutes talking. I explained to her that I was divorcing my wife, and I told her the level of betrayal these two had committed behind our backs. While I was standing there, she called him and told him not to come home and that she knew everything. This morning, she reached out to me and asked if we could meet again. So we are going to spend some more time together going over all this evidence, hopefully between the two of us and our divorce attorneys, because I'm pretty sure she's headed in that route too. Update. I have unblocked my wife, so we can communicate about the divorce. She has agreed to an uncontested divorce. We are splitting the assets 60-40 on my favor. I'm keeping the house, and as of right now, I get full custody of our daughter. Right now, verbal communications is at a minimum, and mostly just about our daughter and the divorce. And she has tried to talk to me about the affair a couple of times, and I shut her down. There's nothing else I need to know about it. I did confirm that she has broken it off with the guy, because there was some information shared between me and the other betrayed spouse that I know she sent to her husband, and my wife does not know anything about it, because she would go crazy if she found out. So less than 6 weeks from now, I should be happily divorced. And I have found comfort in spending time with, we will call her M, the other betrayed spouse. We are helping each other through this.
And now, the second story.
I made a big mistake and cheated on my hubby. I am deeply sorry, but I was shocked when my husband did this to me. 2 months ago, my husband, 27 male, caught me, 25 female, in the midst of a 7-month affair with a coworker. My husband was overseas for work, which severely hindered our communication and closeness. At the same time, I was starting out at a new job in a new city, and this guy felt so compatible and magnetic. It was easy to talk to him, and talking turned into an emotional affair, which turned physical. It felt like destiny in the moment, but of course, looking back, it's nothing more than a run-of-the-mill affair. It is the worst mistake I have ever made in my life. I regret it so much, and I look back and cannot believe I could have been so stupid and selfish to a person I love. I've completely cut off contact, and I've given my husband access to all my phone records, emails, online accounts. I let him track my location, and I make it a priority to answer his calls, even if I'm with a client at work. We've been in weekly couples counseling, and we're reading a book together, not just friends. And despite a few rough patches, we have been getting along pretty well for the last 2 to 3 weeks. He's been able to say, "I love you" again, though he makes it clear that he does not mean unconditionally. I am investing in this marriage like never before, and I'm doing everything I can to put his every need above mine. I make extra effort to cook for him, buy him snacks he likes, keep the apartment extra clean, dress up for him when we go out, satisfy him in bed. I ask him regularly how he is feeling, if he has anything he wants to talk about or questions I can help him answer. In the beginning, he would obsess about the details, but I've come to learn that he responds better if I take the initiative to check in with him, to let him know that I'm not just trying to sweep things under the rug. I know that I'm the cause of all the pain I put him through, and at the same time, the one he wants to help him heal. Despite the progress we're making in therapy and in reconnecting with each other, he still has occasional episodes where he is unconsolably angry, malicious, and outright cruel. He brings up things that I know I can't change, things I know I did wrong, and reminds me how stupid I was. He tells me I'm not worthy of his love because I was so irresponsible with the love he gave me so purely in the past. For the last few days, he has started to demand uncomfortable acts in bed that I've never done with anybody, and rationalizes it by saying that I made our bed life cheap by sharing it so freely with an outsider. When I tell him that this makes me feel depressed and crushes my sense of self-respect, he lashes out and asks how I can respect myself after what I did. In those moments, I honestly don't have an answer. I just look at him, and I see no love at all in his eyes. It feels like the loving, caring husband I once had has become a monster of my own creation. I feel like he is purposely pushing me to my limits, just to see how much suffering I can take and still come crawling back to him. I get it. I offended his trust and shook his foundation, and now he wants to see what's left binding us together. I am so remorseful for what I did, and I wish more than anything I could take away his pain. I guess that's the reason I suffer through it, and carry on through the ups and downs to try to make him happy again. But at the end of the day, despite all I do for him, I feel worthless, unappreciated, unlovable. I feel like a 403 when we have closeness. I feel like I'd be better off dead, so that he doesn't have to deal with the burden of staying with a cheating wife. So he can be free to find true happiness with someone who will never betray him like I did. Please help me. I'm devastated and I'm desperate. What more can I do to bring him back?
Thanks guys for staying with us. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!